Jupiter whispering silently into your mind. Oh, coffee, please. Oh, that's good coffee. It's not bad. I'm not gonna lie, that's not fucking bad. Good morning. We'll go back inside, dude. Is it still too humid out here? Oh, hello, Poland. Another day, another verses. All right, buddy. All right. Look, the sun came up, guys. Remember? Remember when I told you it would? All you have to work today. It turns out nothing exploded. You're streaming when I got up for work this morning. How are you up now? It's fucking 10 a.m., bro. What, am I supposed to still be asleep? Yes, Mastodon. Stay angry? My guy, are you okay? You can talk about politics. If I get like bored with it, I'll ban you, but you're just not gonna hear me doing what I did this last year. Right? I'll still talk about politics. I'll still tell you what I think about it. You're just not gonna catch me investing myself. From here on out, I'm done. So you can talk about it. I'll answer questions. Tell you what I think. Nah, thanks. I'm out too. Peace. I've stopped ages ago. Well, Sonic CD is better than the concept of time. Agreed. Did you like Alien Romulus? Yeah, it was alright. It had its moments. It's the fourth best Alien movie. Hard to get excited about that, but there it is. Yeah, the end chapter sucks. The alts, I know, dude. People are fucking capital T triggered today. My poor mods are gonna have to get blisters on their fucking band fingers, bro. Because there's some people whose booty holes got blown out last night. Some people that talked some big shit. And all they can do now is make alts and talk about my prolapsed rectum. I kind of feel like interrupting this guy's fun. He clearly has quite a few alts to burn. I think now he's going to have to subscribe and wait a minute per alt. I think he's going to have to give me that subscription for every one of those alts. And he's going to have to wait his turn too. Will Jesus's niece pop out? Jesus's great aunt? It's going to be a while till we find out, ladies and gentlemen. It's not even funny trolling. There are people out there who, they can't win politics. They can't win an argument with me. So what else can you do? Freak the fuck out. Heard what you said last night about work following you home. I identify with that a lot. Sadly, I work with family, so it literally follows me everywhere, even vacation. Yeah. Yeah. You might need to set some healthy boundaries in your life. I would say that sounds like a person, to me, you know, knowing nothing about you, that needs to set a few boundaries. No work shit, no shop talk. You ever heard that? Try instituting that. How about when we're not at the shop, no shop talk? That used to be something that people used to have to, like, I learned that term when I was a kid. It's an actual factory term. The people that helped raise me, all of the unionized adults around me, within the glass plant that they worked at, there were different shops, right? Shop steward, right? This is an old like term of trade, right? And sometimes people would come and party over at my house after they were done with a long day of work, and I would hear it as a kid all the time. Hey man, no shop talk. And I kind of had to intuitively figure out what that meant, because having it explained to you as a little kid probably isn't going to work. What that meant was, you leave your work at work. We're not at work right now. Let's not be at work right now, right? So I would say just establish some healthy boundaries in your life, bro. I've read the whole Dune series. Why is America so conservative? Because America is frightened. America is, and has been for a good long while now, a country of frightened little people. And frightened little people make frightened little decisions. Haven't read any of the Dune prequels. Thanks for that sub. Keep them coming. Every little bit of engagement pays me. Keep them subs coming. How many alts you got? 10? That's 10 fucking subs. That's engagement through the asshole today. Please help out. I would like to remind everybody here, right? This is a monetized channel now. Everything that you do here, from passively watching, to chatting, to liking, disliking, creating an alt, getting banned out, doesn't matter what you do. It's all what YouTube calls engagement. And guess what it does? Guess what it does for a little fella like me? It puts money right in my pocket. It doesn't matter if they unsub. That's the great thing about it, Abby, is that an unsub is treated almost like a sub. When it comes to singular incidents, It's engagement. Somebody touched it. Somebody touched it. You came, you saw, you touched, you left. I get paid. Pretty fun. What do you think we have to look forward to for the next 4 years? More of the same, bro. What do you mean? What do you mean? Do you think that there's some alien invasion on the horizon or something? Something special that's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing will change. Let's just do this too. Message delay is going to be slow mode. 10 seconds. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now you got to wait a minute and you get one shot. Lame, but it's necessary. Nah, it's not really necessary. It's just fun. What's your next up? It's fun to play the escalation game. All right, sub-only mode. Oh, yeah? Well, I'll make 1 billion alts and sub to you 1 billion times. Okay, slow mode. And if you don't know, now you know. Paul, how much do you think Kamala's gender and ethnicity held her back from winning the election? My Democratic family members seem to only be able to focus on that for why she lost. I think it, like, these are people, they're going to be people that just absolutely refuse to learn any kind of lesson from what happened last night. You're just gonna have to let those people do what they're gonna do. They're gonna find a way to cope and make it not about their candidate 1 million fucking times over. How much role did it play last night? I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that I don't think it played any role, but is it the reason that Donald Trump won a huge convincing victory and the popular vote? No. The reason for that is the Democrats didn't do a goddamn thing for anybody when they had power. And I said this, right, a bunch of times. I was like, you guys keep clapping like seals for the Joe Biden administration when they've given you legit jack diddly squat, and there's going to be nobody left to care. Here we are. We live in the age of I can't be wrong. Yeah, we do. Dude, just go check it right now. Like, go figure it out for yourself right now. Go take a look at Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, whatever you want, and see how long it takes for you to bump into a person who's trying to figure out how they were wrong but still right. A lot of people didn't even prepare for it either. So they're winging it on the fly. They're deciding how they were right all along. Twitter's absolutely insane right now. Oh, it's going to continue to be absolutely insane, dude. Yep. And that's okay. It is okay for people to not learn their lesson from this. Ultimately, it is up to them to decide if they want to live their lives in the light of truth or live their lives in the darkness of cope. There's nothing I can do. I'm not their dad, right? I'm not their best friend. I'm not their therapist. I'm not their CO, right? I got nothing for them. And there's nothing that I'm gonna say that changes that. You're just gonna have to let it go. They were inconsequential last night, and they're whining and reconstitution of what happened will only serve to be ineffectual with that as well. Thanks for the buck, bud. I've heard no real talk over the election in my college. What are people going to say? I mean, I can tell you what I think people should be saying. Holy shit, guys, we fucked up. We did everything wrong. We should have listened to those leftists that said that they had a fucking red line. We should have listened to those leftists who said we should have applied pressure when we had the chance. That's what should be happening. You won't find a single instance of that. I defy you. What up, dog? I kind of want to join. Joint it is. Oh man, dude, I smell so good right now. You guys have no idea. You know what? And those of you with long hair, back me on this. One of the greatest things about having long hair is that you get these whiffs of your shampoo and your conditioner and your clean hair just as you're like walking around. Am I wrong? Am I the only long hair enjoyer that enjoys that part of having long hair? When you've got hair that's just like fresh and clean and you move your head and you get that little whiff. Yeah, I live for that, dude. Who gave me $5? Thanks for the $5, bro. Whoever that was. Appreciate it. Let me see if you said anything interesting. Dems will not learn any lessons from this, Paul. I don't know about that. The libs may not. The Dems, I think, are going to have a whole ass strategy meeting today. And what they do with that, who the fuck knows, right? I'm not going to claim to know one way or the other, but I do think it's coming. A strategy meeting. Moving forward, what are we doing? How are we getting there? Those sorts of meetings are going to be happening today. Quite a few people are going to lose their jobs over it too. Quite a few DNC affiliates are going to be looking for work else. So, yep, it's autopsy day for the Dems. They'll be checking out why and how. Reason why Kyle was so off is because of Crystal. She believed that 2022 midterms women's vote would come out for Kamala, so she was hyping up Kyle to think she had a sleeper vote. Is that what you think? Kyle doesn't strike me as the type of dude that is that easily influenced, but it's also his wife, right? So, yeah. I don't know, man. I really honestly have no no clue what exactly happened to our boy Kyle. All I know is that he was saying some fucking demonstrably stupid shit for about a week before this election, maybe 2. Something broke inside of him, and he started just like towing the fucking lib line. Started talking, like, gloating about all these, like, you know, making all these, like, proclamations. That always worries me. When somebody's like, save this tweet, Donald Trump is finished. Save this tweet, the pollsters have been underrepresenting Kamala's numbers. You know what I mean? And it's like, so a bunch of people did save the tweet. So now what? You know what I mean? Why would, like, it's one thing to talk about it. Like, hey, Kamala could have some sleeper numbers here, bro. I could imagine that being something that Kyle talks about, right? Hey, Kamala's got some sleeper numbers here, bro, possibly. Not like, mark my words, bro. Kamala's got this in the bag. And it's like, people don't even learn. Kyle's got no excuse for that shit. Kyle's been through way too many electoral cycles to know about that shit. So I don't know. There's just like something got brain broke up in Kyle's world. And maybe you're right. Maybe it was like Crystal's influence that caused him to eat his fucking shoe. But yeah, he swallowed his whole leg last night. Dude, there's this fucking podcast called The Vanguard. You guys heard of this podcast? They're like a lefty podcast. I've never seen them. But I've seen them mentioned. Heard them mentioned by other people. And I ran across their shit on Twitter a few days ago. Bro, you want to talk about the smug, the absolute smugness? This dude was like, save this tweet, Kamala wins by a fucking landslide. He was ragging on people and cussing at people and stuff. And then, like, today he's like, I'm going to be drinking a 30-pack today. Send me your best takedowns. I will read them. I was so fucking wrong about this election, bro. And it's just like, well, at least you're admitting it. But it's kind of hard to just kind of step back after that. You know, maybe you shouldn't have gone, maybe if you hadn't gone as hard, you wouldn't feel as dumb. Ah, well. Ah, well. But it's, you know, it's all done with the shouting now. How will, that's the question. That's what I would be looking out for if you plan on staying in the, like, broader politics podcaster community. If you have a favorite podcaster who was dead wrong yesterday, I think that watching how they deal with it will tell you a lot about the character of that person. Watching, especially the ones that had the big, loud, boisterous takes, watching how they deal with it, I'm gonna reveal quite a bit about what's going on. Is Earth big in the big picture? Nope. In the big picture, Earth is almost infinitesimally small. How is Voosh handling this? Early on in the night, he was like, you guys don't understand. I'm not even worried at this point. We knew this was going to happen. Diamond hands. And by the end of the night, he was banning people, staring for minutes of dead air at a time into the void, staring at his chat, watching it go by, watching the cope. Yeah, it was actually kind of fun to watch. We kept kind of like tuning in at the beginning of the night. Man, he was spruced up, adjusting his little pocket handkerchief, brushing out his beard, right? And telling everybody, no need to worry, my guys. Yeah, he said diamond hands. Diamond hands. That's we literally watched him say it. You guys are freaking out over nothing, my dude. Diamond hands. Did Vosh blame the Green Party? We didn't watch him enough to know who he blamed. Stay tuned. He's probably still cooking up the blame. What does diamond hands mean? No shaking. No worry, right? My hands are rocks. Diamond. Damn those Bernie bros. They did it to us again. Damn Jill Stein and the Bernie bros. Oh, rewatching Vosh's last appearance on DFF ought to be a hoot. There's a reason why I'm not freaking out. I'm not speaking for everyone, but under both Trump and Biden, my financial system got good and bad. So this will be no different for me. Yep. Diamond hands. Do you think the fact that it wasn't close could result in denialism becoming less prevalent on the right? No. Not at all. And in fact, you're seeing denialism on the left now. I was reading when I just woke up this morning. I was just kind of like knocking the crust out of my eyes, having a smoke out here, scrolling through Twitter. I saw 5 different people saying, we need to talk about Trump possibly stealing this election. We need to talk about this irregularity, that irregularity. We need to talk, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, imagine, bro. Blue MAGA. Blue MAGA, dude. Imagine spending 4 years shitting on Republicans, right? For their candidates' inability to accept defeat. And then 4 years later, you're doing the exact same thing. Uh-oh. Yep, Blue MAGA, dude. Blue and on. They're crashing out. I want you guys, if you will, to take a minute and imagine the flip side of this. Oh my God. In the community that I move in, we would be drowning in smug. A lot of the people that are quiet like little church mice right now would be over here going like, what now, Paul? What now? Like I was backing Trump. Banned again, eh? Yeah. About to be banned even again. So it just keeps happening. Thanks for the sub, though. Yep, Russiagate 2.0. How could this happen? Irregularities, voting irregularities. Trump cheated. It's finally, like I saw one woman, it's time somebody said it. Trump cheated last night, and we're going to find out how. Tons of upvotes, tons of cope. It was nuts. Anything to put blame on some nefarious scheme that isn't looking at their own policy prescriptions, staring them in the face and realizing they were ineffectual. Anything in the world. Yeah, there's some really irregular numbers that I'm seeing. It's like, dude. Zero introspection. But once again, and I hate to tie it all together, but you know that literacy statistic that I talk about constantly on this show, if you watch me? 60% of American adults read at or below a 6th grade level. One of the things that you can't do very well when you have no media literacy, no historical perspective, right? You can't genuinely examine why you were wrong, admit why you were wrong, and move on. Yeah. That's part of media literacy and reading that doesn't get talked about. When you cannot take stock of a failure and find out what you did wrong, when your initial idea is, oh shit, I can't be wrong, so let's blame it somewhere else. Let's blame it on black men. I see a lot of this coming out of the fucking Dems, and I want to say this. I want everybody to hear this. The reason why minorities in large numbers walked away from the Democratic Party last night is exactly because of how you treated them this electoral cycle. You treating black and brown people like they're in the pocket for the Dems, you talking to them like they're high school students and shit, didn't work out. You pretending that minorities are just in the pocket of Democrats and hand-waving their concerns, saying shit like, you ain't black if you don't vote for me, Jack. That was just a few years ago, y'all. What do you think the repercussions of that is?
And probably at least at that point, they're like, well, at least he's being honest about it.
Yeah.
That he's pandering and expects us to vote for him.
So whatever you hear, people going like, why did black men walk away? Why did black women walk away? Why did Hispanics walk away? Why did Muslims walk away? Right? You hear those questions being asked, and you hear people coping in different ways, you tell them. Hispanics, Latinos, Muslims walked away from this party because the party had nothing for them but words and talk. What do you think Obama standing in Flint, Michigan, sipping that fucking cup of water did to the black community? See what I mean? And look at what happens, dude. Libs, dry humped. We got to save the minorities, guys. They lose. Who's the first thing they blame? Minorities. Oh, guess you didn't care too much about minorities in the first place, did you? The first people they blame were the brown people. Point at the Browns. They fucked us. Look at them. Look how quick it switches.
Are Democrats going to be the new Islamophobes now?
It's starting to look like it. Yep. That shit with Barack Obama talking to black men. Let me tell you something. There's something you got to do. You're going to go out and vote. That whole thing. Putting Obama in front of black people and having him talk to them like they're middle school students doesn't work out. Who would have thunk? So anytime you hear somebody coping about minorities or blaming them for this, you correct them. You correct them. There's a reason why minorities over the last 20 years have fled the Democratic Party. Because you guys treat them like they're little retarded kids. Well, they're done fucking around. They're done playing. A lot of them stayed home last night, and the ones that did showed out for Trump. Ooh.
And they still haven't called Alaska. Why?
Who knows? My minority literally yelled at me because of my vote, and she gave birth to me. That's sad. Aw. Pranab's mom has gone down the rabbit hole. But that's the truth. And you don't think black people are watching when that happens? When the Dems lose and they lash out at black people and Latinos and shit and blame them for the bullshit, You don't think black people and brown people are watching when that happens? You don't think they'll remember the next time somebody comes asking for their vote? This is just common sense. But it has to be said. Somebody has to say it because nobody on the left is saying it. Stop treating minorities like a foregone conclusion. Stop hand-waving their concerns and pretending you've got them on lock because of history. Start working for their vote.
Yeah, and the fear mongering doesn't work. Like, wasn't that one clip you watched? Like, one lady said, like, they say Trump was gonna be worse for Muslims. He said he was gonna do a Muslim ban, and he didn't really. So,
right.
Why would I believe that all the bad things you're saying he's gonna do are actually gonna come to fruition?
It's just common sense.
Yeah.
Nobody from the DNC bothered to engage with actual minorities and their concerns in this country. What are the number one concerns of minorities in this country? Are you guys ready for it? You guys ready for it? It's going to blow your mind. The economy. The economy. The economy and the economy. None of these motherfuckers, you know what, dude? You pandering to them doesn't put turkey on their table. You talking about how black people need to rise up doesn't put cranberry sauce at the Thanksgiving dinner. You know what does? Money. You know what there's less of in the last 4 years? Money. It's not rocket science. The idea that you just have these people in the bag has clearly bitten you in the ass, and I hope you rethink it. Treating brown people like they're a monolith in this country, like they all just lockstep are going to line up behind the Dems without you giving them a goddamn thing and hand-waving everything they care about, you just got repudiated last night. So what are you going to do about it? Looks like for a lot of Democrats, what they're going to do about it is blame the brown people for Trump. Well, that's one way to do it. That's one way to go about it. I think they'll remember that next time you want their fucking vote. Next time your fucking party comes pandering for the vote. They're going to remember. So keep doing that good work. Blame. Find someone to blame except for your dumbass self and the shit DNC. Every finger you point is another person that turns their back on your ideology. So go out there and feed your ego. I have no idea who Caleb Maupin is. I've heard the name, don't know a fucking thing about a thing beyond that. And let's talk about some other shit with Kamala too while we're doing the post-mortem. Instead of hitting the streets, instead of listening to minorities, listening to poor people, listening to her Democratic base, what did Kamala Harris spend so much of her campaign doing? Running around with celebrities, right? Am I wrong? Running around with Hollywood people, with rappers, singers, Whoopi Goldberg, just dude, when are they gonna learn? Nobody likes these fucking people. When are they gonna learn that these celebrities aren't helping? Running around Texas, dude. I want you to think about this. Kamala Harris raised like $1.2 billion for this campaign, which is all gone now, by the way. Poof. Right? She spent a chunk of her time, a chunk of that 1.2 something billion dollars, doing a concert with celebrities in Texas. Go look it up. So if you're looking for somebody to blame, I think you can stop short of black and brown people. I think there's somebody closer to home to be blamed for this. How many people will get it? Well, that's for you to judge. Go check out how people are reacting to this, and you ask yourself, how many of these people are getting what this is? Most of them aren't. Most people on the left don't even know how to hold the L. You know what? You know what the thing is? This terminology, right? Hold this W, hold this L, right? There's like it's like an insult to hold an L, but you have to hold an L, right? Holding an L teaches you character. I hate that I even have to talk about this, but let's just be real and frank about it. Okay? Holding an L teaches you character. How you are at your worst determines how you are at your best. Holding an L teaches character, accountability, introspection, the ability to change course when things aren't working. So take a look around for the next week and see who's having trouble holding the L. It'll be real apparent. What would you consider your biggest L's, Paul? I've held quite a few L's. You know, I was pretty sure Trump had it in 2020. Joe Biden was such a weak candidate, and I really underestimated the kind of like backlash of COVID-19 and the effect it had on that election. So if you look back at our election coverage and me talking prior to the election coverage, right? I was pretty fucking solidly sure that Biden wasn't going to win it. And I was dead wrong about that. You know what I mean? Biden ended up winning it, not by like a landslide, by a pretty comfortable and incontrovertible margin, no matter what you might think if you're on the right, right? So that was a big L. What's another big L? You know, a lot of the L's that I've held, I honestly consider like, here's the biggest L that I think I've held on our current show. When I fought with TJ about the blue dragon and the red dragon shit. Bro, I was under so much fucking pressure. That electoral cycle was so insane. Like over the top insane. And TJ, who is a really, really good friend of mine, close friend of mine, and a coworker and just a compatriot for a long time, I said some awful things to him. He said some awful things to me too. But I said some really mean and nasty things. I think the times when I lose my temper are the times where I've held the biggest L's. Dragon, yeah, wait. We were talking about this very thing. Like, we have to destroy the Democrats because they're just going to hand us loss after loss after loss after loss, right? TJ now agrees with me on that. Not that it matters. But the fight that we had, the argument we had about the ideology of that, right, was nasty and personal. It went personal, right? Me and Scotty, that was regrettable, right? So times I've really like, the L's that stick out to me as the biggest lessons have been me losing my temper. And that's just not just on the show. That's just my life in general. I tend to make, I don't know if you guys find this, but I tend to make really bad, rash decisions in the moment when I'm mad. I'm Irish, okay? I get angry and I just see fucking red everywhere. And I just start slinging it, dude. My weapon, right? I don't throw these, I throw this. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I can be even worse. I can be venomous. Beyond venom. I have a really nasty ability to size people up and cut to their worst fucking nightmare. I really do. I'm not trying to fucking, but I can just see what's inside of people sometimes. And I know what to say to them to make them feel like a worm. But that's the thing. The only reason I'm able to talk about it, frankly, and talk about learning a lesson from being that way is because I've held countless L's in my life over that, right? And I don't stand on anybody else for my anger. My anger is mine. I mean, dude, that's the whole thing. It's like that. It always reminds me of this Howard Stern bit that he did way back in the 90s where he told everybody in the office, like, I could piss you off with one sentence. And people are like, all right, dude, like, yeah, you're good at what you do, but I really think, like, knowing you're going to try and piss me off, you can't piss me off with one sentence. And he was like, I don't want to do it, but I'll do it. He did it to his producer, Gary Baba Booey. Baba Booey's like, do meatballs. He looks right at Gary and he was like, everybody in this office knows you cheat on your wife. Period. And Gary was like, oh, that's fucking wrong. That's wrong. You take that back, because that's not true. See, told you. You're good at stun locks. You guys are gonna have to explain some of this terminology to me. I understand stun lock from a gaming term. What is a stun lock from a arguing with people about politics term? Like what typifies a stun lock? Is it like looping? Where that one I get, right? Where like the conversation just seems to be going back over the same ground cyclically. Is that stun lock? Or is that a different thing? Arguing with chat and not getting out of it. Oh, stun locking with the chat. So it's like being caught up in reading what the chat is saying. But like, okay, so my entire show is stun lock then. From that perspective, right? I do my show very differently than most people do. Like they will read their chats here and there and get in little arguments. But I'm constantly arguing with my chat, right? So I guess that's all it is just one big stun lock, right? From that perspective. Or am I wrong? Like from a gaming perspective, stun lock means you're facing an enemy that has a capability of like either stunning or micro stunning you, so that before you can act, your character is out of commission, and before you can act and have any kind of ability come out, that creature hits you again, starting the stun cycle again. Stun lock, right? So I get it from that perspective. It makes sense from that perspective. But I almost kind of feel like that's what I do here, right? It's more about getting off track during an argument. Someone in chat would say something that make you go on a tangent, lead you away from a point, not just engaging with the chat. Okay, that clears it up a little, I guess. A little better for me. But that's I feel like I'm immune to stun lock because I kind of rely on chat to put me on wild tangents and shit. I kind of feed it, right? I feed on that. At least that's kind of how I think. Right? Yeah, sometimes people are trying to fucking just pull things in a certain direction and I call them on it and I say it ain't happening. Yeah, see, this is my thing, Otello, is like, I didn't know what the term meant, but now I feel even like slightly more confused, right? Because I think it means something different depending on who's using it and how am I supposed to know? You know what I mean? If you use the term with me, how am I supposed to know what you're talking about? You look like Hagrid from Harry Potter. 60% of American adults read at or below a 6th grade level. Here is a grown-ass adult that the only book they can reference is a children's book about wizards. The only bearded character from fiction that they can think of happens to be from a book that 5th graders read. You think that's a coincidence? How did you learn that? Did you read about it? Yes, you can go look it up. It's the Department of Education Statistics on American literacy, adult literacy in America. You can find it. It's incontrovertible. Kids in high school aren't being assigned full books to read anymore. It would be pointless to do so. Most of them couldn't do it. Hey, at least the Alan Moore reference lets me know that you've probably read a book in your life. So I'll take that one over Harry Potter. I think there's a lot of people that call me Harry Potter that didn't even read the book. That probably like either remember mom reading it to them as a bedtime story or just remember the fucking movies. That's how fucked up it is, bro. Trump's presidency should provide great content unless you guys move to the right. I wouldn't expect that. My principles are the same as they were 4 years ago, and they're the same as they were 4 years before that, bro. I remember everybody pretending to read Harry Potter in school because they could watch the movie. Yeah. Right and left aren't static. That is true. But if you know anything about me, maybe new here, I am, if you start asking me questions about the world, you'll soon find out that I am to the left of most leftists. I've got some pretty, probably from a lot of people's perspective, wild leftist takes. So I don't think moving right is in the fucking bingo cards for Paul's ego. I have a pathological aversion to reading because my teachers would tell me that reading is fun. It is not fun. Video games are fun. 60%. Uh, 60%. I think those numbers are from like 2014. So when the new numbers come out, 10 more years, I think it's going to be closer to 70. I think you're going to be looking at 70%. Pretty rough. Pretty insurmountable problem from that perspective. I see it everywhere I look too, dude. Like this little interaction that I do is a microcosm of the world. You have any idea how many grown-ass adults, we're talking 25 plus, come up in here and the only thing they can talk about is Harry Potter, SpongeBob SquarePants, some anime bullshit, some brand new skibbity ass fucking Disney movie that's out, right? They're literally 25 and still watching the same type of things that are designed for 10-year-olds. They never moved beyond it. I didn't say I don't know how to read. I'd be willing to bet that your aversion to reading has caused you to probably be lower on the comprehension scale. But whatever. Maybe you're just a psychic. Maybe you're just a psychic who got better at reading and comprehension by avoiding doing those things. That's the thing. That's one of the funny things about, because I talk about it a lot on this show, the 60% of people can't read thing, right? And it's so funny to watch people in the chat assume that it couldn't be them, right? For some reason, everybody in the chat's part of the 40% that can read. You know what I mean? It's hilarious. You understand that's worse than a coin flip. That's a weighted trick quarter coin flip. 60% thing is not true, though. Yes, it is. Don't argue with me about it. Go to the Department of Education and argue with them about it. I'm not making the number up. I took it from people who study this for a fucking living, right? So you're arguing with the wrong guy. I don't want to hear any more of it in the stream. Don't argue with me about it. Don't try and explain it to him, Abby, because he doesn't have the comprehension level to understand that Twitter is not reading, right? He doesn't understand the difference between reading. The quick fox jumped over the brown log. He doesn't understand the difference between that and comprehending a text. So you sit this motherfucker down and you tell him, I want you to read the first 3 chapters and write me 3 pages summary. He'd be like, duh. That's reading comprehension, right? The ability to take what the text is saying and then apply it, right? So there's reading, which most people, I think, can do on some level, right? The quick fox jumped over the little brown dog, right? And then there's comprehension. 2 different things, homeboy. Sorry. When you were a kid and had to read aloud in class, what did you stack with other kids in your class? I was reading when I was 3 years old. My parents started reading to me when I was a tiny little baby straight out. They'd sit me in their laps, put a book in front of me, let me touch it, let me babble at it. I was reading at 3. So by the time I was in kindergarten, I did 1 month of kindergarten. The school called my parents in for a conference, said, Paul is not going to learn anything in kindergarten. He already knows all this. We want to put him in the 1st grade. They agreed to bump me up to the 1st grade. I hated it. And so for social reasons, they put me back in kindergarten. I was still a little kid. I felt like I was this tiny baby kid and all of the 1st graders were way bigger. And you know how kids grow between those ages. I just wasn't ready. So I was one of the best readers in my school. I think a lot of Americans lack comprehension of any sort at this point. Well, reading comprehension is how people learn comprehension. That it goes so far beyond just the basics, right? 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish is not the same as reading a book and understanding the text, subtext, themes, authorial intent, right? Think about what all of those things imply outside of reading a book. Your ability to read people's intent, your ability to understand nuance and conversation, all of that shit goes with reading comprehension. So it's not just reading, bro. And you can see it all over this fucking chat, bro. Nobody has spent more hours looking at this shit than me. Just look at it right now, bro. Just look at it. Nope. Comprehension is what you start learning after they teach you to sound it out. When they say, read this paragraph and summarize it. Read this book and summarize its themes. Read this book and write a report on its themes. Choose a character in this expansive classic novel and write a paper, write a thesis on that character's motivations from the authorial perspective. You see how it graduates in complexity? Every one of those steps, super important for a human being to learn. People stop at, Harry Potter grabbed the Sorcerer's Stone. Harry Potter said, I don't know what to do. Help me, Dumbledore. That ain't it, Chief. And then you got your 30-year-olds, your 40, fucking 20-somethings coming in here. Hagrid, Harry Potter. Hagrid, Harry Potter. SpongeBob SquarePants. Anime. I watch cartoons all day. I'm a grown adult. I watch cartoons all day long. My whole personality cartoons. What do you think that is, bro? You think that just came out of nowhere? You think that shit just fucking came out of nowhere? What do you think that's about? I can't comprehend anything, so let me watch the flashiest, stupidest, simplest shit my whole fucking life. Harry Potter, shonen anime, magical girls in anime, And nobody knows that Haruki Kazumi is actually a magical girl. I watch anime. I watch Harry Potter. When I make fun of somebody, I say, you look like Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants. Grown-ass motherfuckers, bro. No caparino. Hang around here for fucking 20 minutes. You'll see it. You'll see it. Point of fact, watch this shit. Because you guys forget. You guys forget, I got a bunch of filters on right now, keeping these motherfuckers out. Watch this shit. Anyone? Let's go. Let's see how long it takes. We'll call it a thought experiment. Oh, you know what? Let me turn this off too. Let's see if we, because I don't want to hinder anybody that wants to spam. So let's do this too. Slow mode off. There you go. Mods, stand down. Let it happen for a minute. I'll just turn the fucking shit back on. Just give it a minute. It won't be long. And, you know, people want to act like this isn't a problem. People want to act like infantilization of grown-ass fucking people. Right? Is new. You got grown people out there saying, like, you're a literal pedo because you're dating a 21-year-old. Like, what? No, I'm literally not a pedo because of that. Literally. Not even figuratively, literally. You see what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. It's the dumbing down of America. That's why we got Donald Trump. We want to talk about why Trump keeps winning? Just stays winning in this country. Dumb, da dum, dumb, dumb. Why do you think? Dum da dum dum. Dum da dum dum dum. What other answer could there be, bro? Education system has failed. 60% of people can't read. Can't comprehend what they read. Battle pass behavior. Legit. Legitimate, though. Let me buy the fucking battle pass type of behavior, bro. Paul's Infinite Ego Stroke Festival, part 1 billion. Yep. Tune in, baby. You're here sucking it up, bitch. Keep going. It's like my name is Paul's Ego. It's like it's right there on the package. That's like going like buying a bag of fucking chips that say warning, spicy, eating it and complaining about how hot it is. It's right there in the name. Paul's what? Is it Paul's Humble Self-Awareness? Is that my name? No. That not my name. Here, babe. Just let it burn.
Yeah.
Just let it burn.
Well, it's done.
Paul, have you experienced ego death? I have, yes. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome. I made sure to set up the episodes so they aren't going to be public and confuse the shit out of people.
Yep.
Like last time.
Yeah. For sure. How does it feel to win? I'm tired of winning. I hate to use a Trumpism, but I'm sick of winning. Vosh is live now telling his audience that there's no need to advocate for better leftist policies and let the dialectic solve itself. What? He's talking about the dialectic. So Trump wins and this motherfucker turns back into a Marxist all of a sudden. Trump wins and he's like, my dudes, the revolutionary dialectic must be adhered to after months and months of libtown shit. Okie dokie dokie. Personal opinion, Vosh is bought by someone. Wouldn't be shocked.
That wouldn't be shocked if he wasn't.
I wouldn't be shocked if he wasn't either.
Yeah, it's still looking like Trump might win the popular vote.
Yeah.
All that grousing about the Electoral College.
Yep. And that's like I was explaining last night. So when you had an election like last night, where both houses are cinched, the presidency is cinched, and with a plurality, right? With a clear victory, they used to call that a mandate back in the day. I don't hear that term being used by either side now, so I think it's fallen out of favor. But a president and a party that won that type of sweeping electoral victory was said to have a voter mandate, right? Meaning that the people have spoken and they want change. They want your brand of change. You have a mandate, which actually greases the wheels, right? And so we handed Trump a mandate. Trump said he won a mandate. He did.
I guess the House isn't quite determined yet on if they're going to win the majority or not, but it's looking like it.
Either way, even if they have a slim minority, there's going to be enough blue dog Democrat fucks to make it completely ineffectual and to deadlock it. That's the best case scenario right now, is that we get a deadlocked House where nothing can come out of it, and a fucking red Senate that keeps sending bills to the House that they're just never going to be able to fucking sign. So and they want it that way.
Yeah.
Things are running exactly how they want them running right now. The money is fucking flowing in. You can't even buy a house anymore. You're going to get to rent that from a rich person. And it's by design, by the way, that nothing gets done. Money's flowing to Israel. Money was going to be flowing to Israel no matter who won last night. There was no anti-Israeli vote. There was no anti-war vote last night.
Except for like the
Jill Stein.
0.5% for Jill Stein.
Yeah, the 0.3% for Jill Stein was the anti-war vote. There you go.
I guess maybe the Libertarian candidate too. I didn't look into them much, but I'd assume they tend to be isolationists.
Yeah,
usually.
and there was a Marxist candidate as well. I can't remember what her name was, but it's two ladies running. Remember when Biden or Vosh said that the shortcomings of a Biden presidency would push America left? Yep. Take a look at that New York Times thing with the fucking arrows showing where people moved and what direction. The fucking country just looks like a fucking red porcupine. Yeah, it really pushed everybody left, homie. But see, like, the fact that you could, like, be that dead fucking wrong for straight years and then be pontificating today tells you everything you know. The fact that that motherfucker has the gall to go live and start talking about dialectics today is crazy. But I'll be goddamned if it ain't gonna work. Captain Lib, for the last fucking 4 years, is now throwing back on the Marxist beret. Give me a fucking break. But his audience will gobble it up because he tells them what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. C'est la vie. Vosh is going to push the fascism narrative into overdrive, right? I have no fucking clue what he's going to do. That's up to him, bro. From what people are saying, it looks like he's gonna just be like, let's just chill out, my guys. I think he's trying to get back to brunch, from what people are saying, right? I think that there's some eggs Benedict and a beautiful icy pitcher of mimosas in his future, one way or the other. And he's gonna find a philosophical and dialectical way to get there. That's my guess. Because that brunch is looking real nice right now. So it's time to get back to brunch. Orange Man Bad serves up good brunch. You guys remember the first Trump presidency? Some of you may not. I do. Oh man, brunch was served, bro. Don't have to do anything leftist because you can just Orange Man Bad your way through the presidency. Get ready for it. It's about to be Orange Man Bad, the presidency, part 2. No leftism will happen. No actual leftism will get done. There will be no discussion about how to fucking rebuild the shambles of the Democrat Party. It's Beverly Hills and fucking Benedict's, bro. The little dish of like Canadian bacon on it. You got the fucking poached egg with the hollandaise on a nice English muffin. Let me wash that down. The mean streets. Yeah, the poor part of Beverly Hills. You guys, okay? Give me a break, dude. Marxist dialectics, back to fucking brunch. And then Marx and Engels said, when the fascist wins, my dude, go back to brunch. Yeah, dude. Them Beverly Benedicts, bro.
Sorry.
No, it's all good, baby. We're always passing these back and forth. The Beverly Benedicts, bro. This motherfucker was on record saying he's from the poor part of Beverly Hills. Dude, one time I was doing a desktop stream and we just like dropped a pin in Beverly Hills and drove around. I was like, let's find the poor part, y'all. And I just couldn't find the poor part behind Balenciaga storefronts and stuff. It's like maybe the poor part is right in behind the big Balenciaga, you know what I mean? But I just couldn't seem to stop running into high-end fashion and watch brand outlets over there. I couldn't find the poor part. We drove around for a good 45 minutes on fucking Google Maps, you know? And just could not find the poor part of Beverly Hills. You didn't look hard enough, man. Yeah, maybe I'll drop a pin in there again. I just, you know, like I kept looking, trying to peek around the corners of the Balenciaga outlet and the fucking Prada outlet and the Gucci outlet, right? The Rolex shop and the Audemars Piguet shop, you know what I mean? And I was like, ooh, is that a Hovelback? No, that's just another Audemars Piguet shop. Damn. Pretty soon we're going to see some tenements, though. Let's keep driving, y'all.
Yeah, it's not like it's very big. There's only 32,000 people that live there.
No, Beverly is a tiny, rich, affluent community. And any poor people that find themselves spending a lot of time in Beverly are coming from somewhere else in LA to work. Mm-hmm. Period. Yep, he compared the DSA to a high school communist club, and now, according to reports, he's preaching dialectics on his stream. Guess he's back in the communist club now that it's convenient for him. Spent the last 4 years shitting left, and now he's going to put the leftist hat back on. Hey guys, I'm back. Let's talk dialectics after this electoral loss last night, my dudes. His simps were, dude, last night, they shut down his, I was kind of like looking at some of the subreddits. They shut down his subreddit last night. Put a big post up saying, everything's going to be okay. Put all your thoughts here. You guys are posting like crazy, right? They were just waiting in the wings for him to tell them why this is a good thing. And whatever he tells them today is exactly what they needed to hear. You see what I mean? Beverly Hills rich boy spent the last 4 years dunking left. And now he's talking dialectics on his stream. Just like that, overnight. And if Kamala had waltzed into a victory like him and everybody was saying she was going to, he would be so far from dialectics. He'd be on the lib train so fucking hard today. But that's no longer useful. The lib grift isn't useful, so let me put back on my fucking Che Guevara cap. Okay, bud.
Got about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching.
Get your water ready.
Thank you, baby. That being said, is this your last serious politics discussion with us? So I should probably like explain, because I think people have misunderstood my very clearly and oft repeated mantra here. This is the last year that I do the debate lording. This is the last year that I spend trying to wait, like, because, okay, let me reveal something to you guys. I've had a tactic for about the last 8 years or so. My tactic has been to try desperately to wake people up to the fact that the Democrats are lurching to the right, talk about the ratchet effect in hopes that people would lose faith in the Democratic Party. Now, I think that may have happened, right? And looking back over the balance of that, I'm done, right? I'm not saying I caused it. I'm saying I think faith in the Democratic Party has been obliterated. That's what I wanted. I no longer have a goal in mind for my political talks. So no more electoralism. You want to talk politics with me? Cool. No more electoralism. No more rah, 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 sis, boom, bah. Vote for the lib to stop the fucking fascist shit. None of that, no more. No debate lords allowed. Because these motherfuckers don't own up to their shit when they're wrong. So fuck them. Why would I ever engage with that ever again? Not touching that poop. That's what I've been talking about. This tact of my show being a drudgery of political news, 24/7 electoral news, is over. And I'm talking about this show, and I'm talking about my main show, which I'm about to go and film some fucking patron content for. So please refer people back to this when you see them misconstruing what that was about, because I've said it a million times, but apparently it needs to be resaid. I'm done with electoralism. I'm done with debate lords who don't ever fucking own up to their losses. I'm done with that fucking community of vampiric, shitty people. They will be banned from my community. They're gone. Right? Mission accomplished. My hope against hope for the last fucking 10 years has been that people would lose their faith catastrophically in the democratic apparatus. It's happened. I got nothing left for you. My electoral activism stands done. What's done with it? I'm an old man, man. That's up for the youth to decide. You want to keep playing the fucking electoral game after what you saw last night? Feel free, bro. You want to keep humping the Democrats, hoping that's going to save you? Feel free. Just don't bring it to my doorstep. Don't darken my doorstep with your electoralism cope anymore. You motherfuckers that can't admit you were wrong, don't want to hear from you ever again. Check out. You seeing me like this, 6 hours into a fucking onion nugget stream, watching political news till my eyes bleed, over. Go find somebody else to do it, because it's over. And with that, I bid you adieu.